Looks like whatever happens, Moto3 action will certainly be wet. But the MotoGP riders, well, who knows? That will be very interesting in the rain this morning. Matt Burt, your beloved Leicester City FA Cup winners yesterday. So over to you. Well, Ferraro, another happy man as well. What a bizarre qualifying session we had yesterday. We thought it was done and dusted at one stage, but no.
2 points, as we said, behind Bagnaia. And Bagnaia is mired way down the grid. He struggled in those mixed conditions in Q1 yesterday. The World Championship lead.
No French rider has ever won here in Le Mans in MotoGP. Could it be Joan in the wet conditions? It's not quite as bad for him. Of course, you don't have to put so much energy
right now, and he said yesterday, proving he's certainly not lost his touch in those mixed and wet conditions. Area class since Casey Stoner all the way back in 2012. Casey was a pretty handy wet weather rider himself, wasn't he, back in the day? Yeah, Jack Miller, sometimes the temperature has not got to above, well, double figures, 10 degrees, and that's a classic example.
Finishing ahead of a number of riders. He qualifies in a career best 11th place. Taka Nakagami here will start from 7th.
And here, there are very difficult tracks for us, very technically, where you suffer a lot the temperature situations. And
hardly any lean angle there either.
He was bolt upright, wasn't he?
And Zarco has gone down. He's perfectly okay, but he has crashed out early. Smoke billowing out.
Quite sure whether you're going to come out the other side.
Simon, back to you if Ruben is still with you.
Yeah, just before we let Ruben go, Ruben.
You just concentrate in a dry condition, then wet, then dry, then wet.
On this circuit as you climb uphill off the back of turns 1 and 2. And Joan Mir, unfortunately, has joined the turns. When it's cool and dry, mixed or wet, he just closes his eyes when he enters the corner and just hopes the bike sticks.
Well, Maverick Vinales, his prospects, wet or dry for this afternoon's French Grand Prix. What about the man ahead of him? Danilo Petrucci, traditionally so.
Picking up Ducati's first ever race win in Le Mans here last year. Oliveira seems as though he's the only KTM rider who
performance point scoring ride this afternoon.
Replay here of the eyes. Look at those fierce eyes of Maverick Vinales. He's more than comfortable here. He's on another good lap, as is Jack Miller here across the line. You do just wonder, don't you, what that victory
going into the race this afternoon for Zarco, not what he wanted.
Vinales goes fastest, just ahead of him, Lecuona.
Starts wet but dries up. That's when they might encounter a few grip issues. Polisvar goes down again.
He went down yesterday in
absolute classic, won't it? Oh, it was the rear. I was going to say, it looked like he was just going to lose for Quartararo and Miller. They did qualify in the front row, so you can understand why pole was peeved.
Miller fastest. Yeah, it's a great layout. The riders haven't got any issues with the layout here in Le Mans.
Yes.
What lies ahead for Valentino Rossi? His teammate there, Franco Morbidelli, up ahead of him as well. Could it be the day where Valentino fights for the podium again? Ahead of the racing, though, coming up later on, let's get some thought.
Down the air temperature, but so you have a little bit more grip, but the problem about the soft is the hygiene harder, but on the maximum lean. Thank you, bye.
Thanks, Simon. Thanks to Piero. Exactly the same crash for Marc Marquez at turn.
The choice will be easy, will be soft front, soft rear. They don't have a lot of information, but...
The fourth fastest time is down.
Just nothing you can do.
Valentino Rossi currently in 6th place. As we look here at Jack Miller. The only positive about that is that in wet conditions in races, you do have more time.
He's only really qualifying one row further up as Petrucci takes top spot of 44.944. Firstly, and all three of them said, you know, that the preferred pick, the one that they should have gone for, was that medium rain tyre.
Up to 2021, and so much speculation. Wouldn't it just be so Valentino Rossi to be
who will be the supplier of his 2 motorcycles as Valentino Rossi moves into full Valentino Rossi? It will be pivotal to understand it if he does go with Yamaha, of course, what they then Petronas SRT do. So we get a replay here of the poleman Fabio Quartararo,
12th in that session. It's these conditions, the
cold conditions, with his natural body size, you know, weighing around the sort of 80k mark. It means that he's able to create.
At the moment, it's still wet out on circuit, but it has stopped raining for now. There is some more dew earlier on in the session.
This is something of a novelty in MotoGP.
Valentino Rossi. And that pricked the ears up of Jack Miller, who apparently, to begin with this